This month, I'm sharing some changes and perspectives I've made in my business over the last few years. So in today's video, I wanted to share with you how I've stopped focusing on just strategy when it comes to marketing, and I've switched my perspective to experiments. So when you really think about it, strategy and experiments are really the same thing. Like you have a strategy, but it's also always just an experiment. Strategies often change, just not in marketing, of course. It could be how you approach your offers, how you approach your time, but you're always kind of experimenting in your business. One strategy that worked 3 years ago isn't necessarily going to continue working today. So that's why you're kind of always experimenting in your business. But I don't know if a lot of people think of it that way, or maybe it was just me and I didn't think of it that way. But strategy always felt like this big thing, like you have to do it right. And if you're not doing it right, you're going to fail and you have to follow these steps, or that's why you're failing and that's why you're not successful. Instead of thinking to myself, I have to apply this strategy, I tell myself, I'm going to do this experiment. And it may just seem like, okay, I'm splitting hairs, it's just semantics, but to me, it makes a big shift in my mindset about it. So that's why I want to share with you, because maybe a small shift like this can make you feel much more motivated in your business and help you avoid some of those highs and lows that we all experience mentally when building a business. So this perspective shift is really just the mindset of approaching how I promote or structure my business. Instead of feeling stuck trying to fit myself into a strategy box. And I feel like a lot of us get stuck into those, like we try to fit ourselves into a strategy box that just doesn't fit us. I think it's easier to break out of that like strategy box or that rigid mindset if we view strategies as experiments and a way to explore and try new approaches in our business, to have a little more fun in our business. But when I started my business, there are so many courses that's like, do my exact way and you'll be booked out. Do my exact way and you'll make six figures. And along the way, I've realized like this is a terrible way to approach any strategy in your business. And honestly, it's a terrible way to market. I've never marketed that way, because I've always recognized that you need structure. And you can definitely get inspiration from courses. I think as a business owner, especially as solopreneurs, you really have to drill down and be like, how do I work best? What motivates me? How am I best creatively to market my business? How do I want to connect with people? And it's really digging down and kind of getting all those expert voices out of your head is part of the challenge of running your business, I think. And it's really about stepping in and saying, you know what? This is my business. I have the freedom to run it. But it's also about approaching it. I have a structure and I have an experiment, and being intentional about what you're doing in your business. And this doesn't mean you have to be consistent, but being intentional about questioning how you're doing things, about what's working and not working, instead of just being like willy-nilly. It's really about, I can make changes, but I want to make sure that I'm learning from my changes. I want to make sure that I'm building from each experiment that I have, and that I'm taking important lessons away from these experiments, that I'm not just like, here and here and here and throwing paint at the wall, but being intentional about how you think about your experiments, as well as what are the results from those experiments, and really digging down and saying, what do I like about it and what don't I like about it, as well as what actually worked in terms of sales and audience. It's not saying you can't learn strategy from other people, or you shouldn't like try to educate yourself. I get really inspired by listening to how other people view things and their strategies and stuff. But it's really about taking what resonates with you and leaving the rest, and getting out of that mindset of you have to follow a set formula when it comes to anything in your business, really. It's about saying, okay, that was cool. I learned this from this course, but I didn't like how she did this, or I didn't like how they structured this, and relying on yourself and your own confidence to say, this is what's best for me. And I always like to remind people, if there was a perfect strategy or formula we could all fit into, then we would all follow it and be super successful, and businesses all over the world would follow that formula. But that's just not the way it works, right? That's not reality. There is no one formula. There is no magic formula that's going to like skyrocket your business. So it's best to do things that you actually really enjoy, and you are always learning from your experiments, instead of just saying that strategy didn't work for me, or that strategy was a failure, or I have to get a strategy. It's really expanding what you think of when you think of like how you're running your business and how you're applying strategy to your business. It really comes down to finding strategies that best fit you. Again, not just marketing your business, but how you structure your offers, how you deliver your offers to your clients, how you run your day-to-day business, the ebbs and flows of where you put your time and energy. I've always used the beautiful dress analogy when it comes to choosing strategies for your business. A dress can be stunning, just beautiful, the most beautiful dress you've ever seen. But if it doesn't fit you and you don't feel beautiful in it, then it's not the dress for you. And the same goes with business strategy. You have to find a strategy that really fits you and you feel good about executing. When you switch out strategies for experiments, there's so many variables that you can experiment with. And I think it's a less narrow view of applying strategy to your business. What if you promoted your offer every day for a month? What would happen? What if you created 3 videos a week? What could you learn? What if you changed your messaging position? There are so many different ways to approach being more playful and experimenting with your business. There is no one way to do any part of your business. I would love for you to join me in all the experiments in my business and learn some structure to help you experiment better in your business. So find a link below in the description for the Hustle Happier Hub of Operations. That's my freebie hub. And that will also get you on my newsletter, which I will be sharing experiments all this year that I'm doing in my business, as well as offering you guidance in helping you better fit your business to you this year.